Come out and play.
Welcome. Yes, you're in the new Providence. When niggas get to snapping like they got no common sense. When we approach with confidence, we go with confidence. Cause I'm swift enough to throw the hardest to the fence.
Yeah, bitch, I'm on top of my game. So we can take my picture, put it in a superstar frame.
Now I get steady looks, cause I got heavy push. A playmaker with the rock, no Reggie Bush. Yeah, the fatty look kinda like a heavy book. They ready shook cause they already heard the hook.
Let's go ahead and talk about these wide receivers. We'll go over 30 of these. Let's go ahead and do 30. Huh?
Said a whole 30 back.
Yeah, 30 through 21. That's going to be 30 Jameson Williams, 29 Calvin Ridley, 28 Jerry Jeudy, 27 Jalen Waddle, 26 Devontae Smith, 25 Rashee Rice, 24 Cortland Sutton, 23 Zay Flowers, 21 Xavier Worthy, Xavier was 22. 21 is DK Metcalf. Did you guys get those 10? And anybody you want to discuss on that list, Silly C?
Yeah, there is. Bear with me one moment. I want to talk about Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
I think that with with Kelsey becoming so old now, he's going to be 36, I believe, this upcoming season. He's not going to be able to be that possession receiver for him. And right now with Sky Moore, I believe, and a couple of the other people, I just don't see anybody really worthy of getting targets like Worthy.
Pun intended.
No pun intended. Last year, he did finish with 59 receptions, 638 yards, 6 touchdowns. But what was kind of impressive is he also had 104 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. 128.2 PPR league, so he finished with almost 130 points. Wasn't really too big last season, but I think with the possibility of him getting a lot more targets, especially since, frankly, Kansas City doesn't have anybody else to throw to right now. So I feel like Kelsey and Worthy will be the ones who take all the targets. So he'll definitely, as long as he can, because he's also got some injury concerns. So as long as he can stay healthy, I think that both of them would be or Worthy would definitely be a sleeper pick to pick up. So that would be my take on that.
So Worthy and Rice are separated by just a few picks on this. Worthy being 22, Rice being 25. Jay Reeves, Rice is suspended due to conduct detrimental to the league or whatever the hell.
Has that suspension came down yet?
I think it's supposed to be 4. From what I'm hearing, and all possibilities, it might be 4, possibly reduced to 2, but they don't see him being available for like some of the Chiefs' harder early games. I think they start in Brazil against the Chargers, then they got like the Eagles coming up. But I think Rashid's not going to be available for some of those early lumps. Do you think a couple days or a couple games head start is enough to see Xavier Worthy get separation on Rashee Rice season wide? Like you think he'll finish much farther in front of him with a 2-game head start, 2 to 4 game head start, or you think it'll be a lot closer than you think?
I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think. But with that being said, since he's out for those games right now, his draft potential, Rashee Rice, is a wide receiver 3. But he has a wide receiver 2 potential. So if he can actually get it together, get out there and start fast, because he's going to miss some games, I don't think that there'll be too big of a spread. But I do think that there'll be a lot of production that Worthy can get early off that'll make Mahomes trust him more throughout the season. So I just see that more beneficial for them in the long run anyway.
All right, Jay Reeves, who do you see that's interested in that first column?
Man, Got a couple guys here. So I want to see the connection with Calvin Ridley being the number one option for the boy Cam Ward. Feel like Calvin Ridley is going to get peppered with targets. There's not very many receivers over there, even though they did draft a guy named DK, Alec Aomaner, and they brought in his college teammate Xavier Restrepo. With that being said, man, moving on, I hate to get down on guys, but Jalen Waddle, he has a lot of talent. He seems to always limp off the field. Yes, he is super explosive. He just always seems injured, but he still plays the games. But Jalen Waddle for me is a no-go because, quite frankly, I had him last year. And Tua is one head injury away from never playing again. So I cannot take that risk with Jalen Waddle. And the last dude I want to expound on is the boy DK Metcalf. Huge fan of DK Metcalf, man. But in the Arthur Smith system with the 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's going to be very great this year. So it's a lot of guys I'm kind of down on in this range.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, maybe this next 10 will kind of beef it up and make it a little bit more palatable for you. Let's see. So 20 through 11, got a good mix of veterans and second and third year players ready to take that step. We also got somebody that got the bag this offseason. So we'll see what this one ends up like. 20 is Mike Evans. 19 is the young star Marvin Harrison Jr. 18 is DJ Moore. 17, another young stud, Garrett Wilson. 16, Terry McLaurin, who's been holding out and just requested a trade. 15, Jackson Smith and Jigba. 14, the vet, Devontae Adams. 13, the vet, Tyreek Hill. 12, Higgins. He just got that bag. And wrapping up that 10 is Ladd McConkey, who kind of broke out during his rookie year, looking like a young Wes Welker, Edelman. Yeah, it's the white boy comparison, but man, he just seemed like a safe reception receiver, you know what I'm saying, and a heavy targeted person in the Chargers offense. Jay Reeves, give me one person that stands out in that 10 people row.
Man, I think it's the guy who you were just talking about, the boy Ladd McConkey. I mean, like, he had a great career at Georgia, but it really wasn't that great. You could just see that he was a great receiver because he was overshadowed by Brock Bowers. Now, last year, he got a huge opportunity, and he looked really good. He got peppered with targets down the stretch, and he really came along as the season went along, and he had a huge playoff game. With that being said, the addition of the rookie draft pick Trey Harris could eat up some targets. Mike Williams retired. They could actually bring Keenan Allen back. I'm just predicting that for the future. But Trey Harris is looking real good as far as camp goes. And there's also another guy who we just saw play in the Hall of Fame game last night, and it's Keandre Lambert-Smith. Yes, this boy has 3 names, and he is a beast out on the field. If y'all don't know anything about him, y'all may want to go look him up. With that being said, I think Ladd's numbers may not be as inflated this year, but Ladd will still be Justin Herbert's number 1 target. And he's definitely, I would say, a wide receiver 2, not a wide receiver 1.
See, yeah, I think Ladd definitely is going to be a safe option in that Chargers offense. Silly C, Jay Reeves don't like following no rules. I tell him pick 1 people. He's talking about people that ain't even on the list. He's choosing 2 or 3 people every time. Let's talk. Let's go to our numbers guy who knows how to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? There's 1 person out of those 10 people, and let's talk about them. Let's go, Silly C.
Well, all right. So let's talk about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay.
He could be a sleeper pick. Now, Kyler Murray, again, you know,
ass.
Just like Tua is also, you know, in risk of taking 1 too many more hits and be out for the rest of the, you know, his career. But with that said, last season he had 62 receptions for 885 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 14.3 yards per reception. He averaged 11.6 points per game, which was 39th among receivers. I think that he is looking for a breakout year, but you know, there's a lot of other receivers over there with the Cardinals, or a lot of help should I say, with Connor and a lot of reasons not to throw the ball. But I think really he's got high target potential. He had 116 last season. He's projected for 139 this season. So I think, again, with that in a PPR league, he's definitely someone to look at. And I think he's going to be a breakout receiver.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to measure, but I'd like to see how many of Marvin Harrison's points came like in the scripted plays of the offense, because it felt like by the time I turned on my app last year, like he'd have 3 receptions for 63 yards and a tud in like the first quarter. He had like 17 points. And then once they started going off script, and I don't know who was making the calls or whatnot, like he'd finish with 18, 19 points. It's like, damn, you had that when I turned on my app in the morning. So, I mean, it's kind of frustrating to see that type of production either in the first quarter or the first half, and then just see it taper off to the game. You think you're about to have a 30-point game or maybe a 40-burger with that early production, and he just never sees the ball again. I hope he's able to produce, because I feel like he's probably with the quarterback on the hottest seat this year. I say outside of Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray has definitely put the spotlight on himself, and he's going to have to produce this year. So, or he might not be with the Cardinals anymore. He'll be shipped out the desert. But let's go ahead and get this one going, man. We're in the top 10 now. This top 10 has shifted around because a lot of the names we used to felt like that 11 to 20 range, the DKs, the Devontaes, the Tyreek Hill. So now there's been a changing of the guard. And let me list off this top 10 for you guys and see what problems you guys have with this list. Let's go number 10, Drake London. Number 9, A.J. Brown. Number 8, Brian Thomas Jr. 7, Nico Collins. 6, Malik Neighbors. 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 4, Puka Nakua. 3, CeeDee Lamb. 2, Justin Jefferson. 1, Jamar Chase. Just thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you guys agree with that top 3? CD at 3, 2, Justin Jefferson, 1, Jamar Chase? Or would you guys mix it up? I'd say thumbs up on that top 3. Thumbs up for you? Yeah, that's the top 3. I mean, it's kind of splitting hairs with that. And a lot of it comes into performance for J.J. McCarthy, but we'll see how they're able to do. Silly C, pick one name off of that board and talk to me about him.
All right. Well, I want to talk about Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's way kind of high on this list, and he would probably, I think he shouldn't be at where he's at currently. Although he does have some upside, I think the quarterback's more iffy and kind of for certain there in Jacksonville. So, but last year he did have 87 receptions for 1,282 yards with 10 touchdowns, and he was selected to the Pro Bowl. But I definitely think that this season he's going to take a step back. The only upside to him, well, not upside, he has plenty, but he's 6'3", and so he's 209 pounds, so he's big body, so he'll definitely be able to get a lot of targets. But I just don't know if the quarterback will be, sustainable enough to get him the kind of targets and production that he would want.
Yeah, and I mean, with that backfield with Tank Bigsby in it and Travis Etienne as a pass catching back, I do see him being their best wideout threat and probably being able to make a lot of noise down there in his red zone. Honestly, I'd take that those 10 touchdowns he did get last year, which is a really impressive season, and I would probably go uptick on that the most. I say it gets closer to 12, 13, or 14, and then I think the receptions will stay kind of similar, right around that 87. He's not really a reception machine. However, he's a go-get-it type of player. And, with that type of athleticism mixed with that type of ambition, it's just throw it up and go get it. You know what I'm saying? Jay Reeves, what do you think about some players in this top 10? I know you got a few of them you want to touch on.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about another one while we're waiting for him. Malik Neighbors, I think he is somebody that his production can be crazy, but again, he's got the most up in the air kind of quarterback situation, so we'll see what he can do. But he did set the most receptions of a season record for the Giants last season. So he is very impressive and gets ton of activity. So I think that he's definitely going to be someone to look at. He's had a few injuries just from last season alone. So he gets dinged up a little. So if he could stay healthy, that'll definitely be good. And that would be kind of my outlook on that. He's talking about
Hey,
Malik.
Reeves, what do you think about this top 10 list?
Oh man, I can't rattle off 3 dudes, so I'm just limited to one.
Whoa. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Bruh, are you trying to do
Oh,
this?
are you real right now?
Bro,
Yeah,
I
is this
told you I'm
reality?
bringing the ice cream. Whoa, I'm bringing the ice cream. Let's get
Sound like other
into.
stuff too.
We're trying to make a Love Island.
You just talked about Malik Neighbors. Man, that's because this list right here, I'm telling you, man, like any one of these guys could literally end up as the number one receiver, man. I just want to make it clear. Just because you ended up number one last year, being Jamar Chase, doesn't mean you're going to be number one this year, because the year before that it was CeeDee Lamb. The year before that, I want to say it was Tyreek Hill. Man, with that being said, Malik Neighbors, he's like the scariest one for me on this list because passes getting thrown to you by Russell Wilson, even Jackson Dart coming through. That's a little sketchy. I feel real great playing Malik Neighbors with the boy Jameis Winston, because he just throw those YOLO balls, and I feel like Malik could really thrive with him. But outside of that, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like the stars are aligning for the boy Neighbors this year, man. Playing with Russell Wilson, that's one I'm heavily avoiding. All over Drake London. I'm all over that Guzeets. So Drake London's looking real.
I think Malik Neighbors is one of those players that would play well with Russell, because I mean, if you see the players that perform well with him over the years, it's been like the people that can run good deep routes, and like the Lockett's, the Doug Baldwin, Cortland Sutton, and then he had some good games with Mike Williams after Aaron Rodgers said get him out of here last year. You know, he had some decent games with George Pickens. He's just a knucklehead, so it didn't go great for him. The player that, I got trust issues with drafting just a wrong wide receiver. The player that I question the most in the top 10 is probably right there at that number 7 spot. Is number 7 going to be an unlucky number 7? Just because looking at Nico Collins and his stats from last year, 68 receptions, tied for 34th. And then he has 1,000 yards. That's a lot of production off of not a lot of opportunity. He averaged over 14.8 yards reception last year, which is big boy numbers.
He was also injured last year too. He was injured. He was injured. He missed 4 games.
He was injured a good bit. He has been injured in the past. He's a young stud. He is highly productive with limited usage, but I like to kind of have both. I like to have the production and the attempts. Do you think that Nico's somebody that we could count on drafting him as our wide receiver 1 to finish the year as a wide receiver number 1? Can either of y'all help me with that?
I don't think he can get to number 1. I feel like he could be top 5, and here's the reason why.
Not number 1 overall, just your number 1 receiver. He's going to be the only receiver you could take in the first round. Like, is he going to be? Yeah. Can he be your fantasy team's number 1, and you don't mess around and get like T. Higgins or somebody later?
No, I could definitely take him as my number 1 receiver. My only concern is the offensive line, because I am expecting a huge bounce back for the boy CJ Stroud this year, but the offensive line is trash. So is he going to even have time to let the plays develop to get Nico Collins those long balls, man? So I don't know, bro, but I will take Nico Collins as my number 1 receiver. Like, trust and believe. I think he has a lot of help with the rookie Jaden Higgins being pulled in on the other side, Christian Kirk in the slot, Jalen Noel. It's like he got a lot of people, so they're going to be taking a lot of focus off of Nico Collins, and he has shown that he has big play production.
Silly, is there a reason for me to take Nico that high with studs like McLaurin, Tyreek, Higgins, McConkley, all kind of looming around that area, would you feel comfortable if I just drafted Nico Collins over Brian Thomas, over AJ Brown? You know, people that we've seen produce and be available a lot more often.
Ooh, I don't know. I think he can be a beast. I would probably wait till the middle, or I'd probably wait early second, late first if you had to jump for Nico. So therefore, you can at least get another pick or possibly another good running back. So I don't know if I would kind of jump too high for Nico, especially with a lot of the other talent that's out there. And you're going to have to jump high because a lot of people want him. So I don't think he's really worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think both of y'all sold me. I'm going running backs early in the draft. Hey, touch killing them niggas. Nah, man. But we just wrapping it up, man. We're getting it in, man. And Beer Bros, cheers to your win. Here we go.